I'm kind of a baby about spice. Funny that we're making chili and I'm a baby about spice. I just feel like I'm very sensitive to it. This is spicy. The culture of chili in Texas is very regional. It's something that I grew up eating. My name's Dave Rizo. I am the chef and one of the owners of Yellow Rose, and today we're gonna make chili with beans. First thing we're gonna do is make beans. We're using pinto beans. We're just gonna put them in with some water and a little bit of Mexican oregano and some bay leaf. Beans and chili, it's very controversial. I feel like I always grew up eating beans and chili. This is gonna go for about 2 hours, I would say. Yeah, you could definitely overcook beans, but I kind of like a blown out bean a little bit. It's like super creamy inside of it. I'm sure somebody's probably offended by that, but if you're going to like a fine dining restaurant eating a bowl of chili and the beans are blown out and you're upset about it, then I don't know what kind of world you're living in. So while the beans are going, we're gonna go ahead and start toasting our chilies. We have guajillos, we have chili morita, and we have some ancho chilies that we're just gonna go ahead and throw on the same tray. Besides the chili morita, I don't think these are particularly too spicy, especially the guajillos. And if we want more spice, we can do that, but we can also have the room to control that. So we can add cayenne, we can add chili flakes. If you want, you can put hot sauce. It's kind of like at some point, we have a recipe for you to use, but there's also your instincts, what you want it to taste like. We throw our chilies in the oven for about 5 minutes at 350. At the end of the day, I think the more it's closely resembling you as a cook, the better it's gonna taste. And so I think this resembles me. Okay, we're gonna check these chilies now. If they're a little soft, that's fine. They'll kind of crisp up as they dry out, as they cool down. So we're gonna let these cool just for a second, and we're gonna blend them up. Just gonna take the tops off. You can leave the seeds, I'm okay with that. So I'm from San Antonio, Texas, the west side of San Antonio. It's one of the largest Mexican-American neighborhoods. I think that like when I was talking to my mom about it, she was just like, we've always had beans and chili just because one, we're Mexican-American, 2, beans are great, but 3, like if you're feeding a lot of people with a very small amount of meat, you're gonna have to stretch that out. We're gonna have to subsist somehow. And so I think that's why I love it. I feel like it's almost like a Mexican-American contribution to what people kind of perceive as like a Anglo dish, but it's very much inherited with Mexican culture, with Mexican-American culture. So we're gonna go ahead and add our liquid to these. Coffee we're gonna add because you're not even gonna taste it really. You're not gonna be like, oh, there's coffee in this chili, because by the time we cook it out, it's just adding this extra layer. We have some chicken stock and some beer. Secret beer. We have vinegar. And we're gonna go ahead and blend this up. And you just wanna make sure that we have enough liquid in here. If you have too thick of a paste, you're gonna have chunks of dried chilies, and when you're eating your chili, you're gonna get it stuck in your teeth. Perfect. So our paste is ready, our beans are ready, now we can start building the chili. Yes, I was in a chili competition. I was too scared to enter a chili competition in Texas because that's like the big leagues. So when we got to Brooklyn, I was like, I could do it here. I can do it here. And got second place for a vegan chili that we ended up serving, and we would label it second place chili. That was just fitting, yeah. I like poblanos because they have, for me, just enough heat, but not too much. But they still have all of that kind of pepper flavor that you would get in like a bell pepper. Just giving these a little dice. If they're not perfect dices, I'm not worried about it, neither should you. We got the onions and the poblanos chopped. So we're gonna go ahead and sear the beef. We have ground beef right here. Break this up a little bit into pieces. Let's add a little bit of salt. I like a lot of pepper on this. Let's go ahead and add enough oil to this to kind of just fill the bottom of it. Let's get this kind of ripping hot, because when you add this cold beef to it, it's gonna drop the temperature down so much. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and sear it in bigger chunks so it doesn't, so all the water doesn't let out and you just start steaming it. You wanna get this nice brown color onto it. Okay, this is looking pretty good. That will go ahead and pull it there. So we got the beef out, and now kind of quickly cool this down. Add your onions and your poblanos to it. A pinch of salt to kind of get all that moisture out of the onions. Kind of scrape the bottom of it. We need a lot of scraping the bottom of the pot from here on out. It's a little greasy in here now. It's okay. If your kitchen doesn't look like a crime scene when you're done with your chili, then it's not chili, I guess. We're gonna slice some garlic. The world's tiniest mandolin right here. Don't cut yourself on this. I got like greasy beef hands. Like, kind of dangerous. We're going to add garlic here. Going now. I know it feels like we're burning stuff, but we're not. We're gonna add tomato paste now, and we're gonna just cook this. We're gonna get it dark, dark brick red, a little carbony. Sorry, I'm smoking everyone out here. The chili hot box. You wanna really make sure that we're getting this really cooked, because you don't want it to be like a tomato-y chili at all. This is looking pretty good. And you can see in the bottom of the pan, you have this like a little bit of scorchiness. I wouldn't go much farther than that, because then it will just taste like a big scorchy pot of chili. But a little bit of this is nice. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the heat and add cayenne, paprika, cumin, and brown sugar. And we're gonna let the residual heat of the pot kind of wake up these spices. And while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of scrape the bottom of this. Alrighty, so now just throw our pepper puree into the pot. I feel like kind of marrying these two things, what was in the pot with the vegetables and then the pepper puree, is essentially the base of the chili. This is when you should probably start wearing an apron if you had one around. Okay, I'm gonna break up a little bit of this beef just so we don't have like these super giant chunks in there. You can see it's still a little rare in there too, so we're gonna wanna go ahead and cook this for about 30 minutes or so until it feels like nice and tender. And we're gonna go ahead and start adding some beans. It might not take all of these beans, or you can add just as much as you wanna eat. Maybe a splash of this water. So we're just gonna go ahead and simmer this for about 30 minutes, or until it's nice and tender and everything's kinda second to know each other. So our chili is just about done here. Give it a little taste and see what it needs. It definitely needs the rest of the salt. Maybe let's go there. But other than that, it's pretty great. Okay, so when I'm eating chili, I like to make sure that we have both saltines and Fritos. You can do one or the other. I like both. And for the scallions, I like to go all the way down because I like the whites. Let's put some avocado. Just do little cubes. Grate some cheese. We have this nice mountain of cheese. That's it. Make sure you get like some nice big chunks of beef in there. And I go topping heavy. Some sour cream or crema. I like toppings. And then maybe like a quarter of this. Pretty much these two things on a couch from here on out. That's all you need. Okay, how I eat this shit. I make weird little bites. So I just go a little bit of that. I don't know, like an hors d'oeuvre or something like that. There, and there you go. Oh, pretty good. You can definitely make it a lot spicier. It's definitely very much like 1 alarm chili, 2 alarm at best. If you want to go 5 alarm, throw more cayenne, get spicier chilies, you know, make it however you want. This is pretty good for me. The recipe's at the link below. Come visit us at Yellow Rose in the East Village. I think it's cool to kind of take this and make your own version of it, add your own things into it, you know? If you're watching this and you're like living in like Tokyo or something like that, using a Japanese beer or a Japanese chili, there's plenty of them, you know, and make your own version of it.